quant was never a big problem to me, but I had a lot of difficulty in tackling a verbal section. So I practiced a lot of exercises and tests from various coaching institutions. At the end of every test and every exercise that I solved, I analyzed what my areas of weaknesses were and I worked around.
Since I come from a biotechnology and biochemistry background, I've been out of touch with math in the last few years. So naturally my weak area was the quant section, and I prepared the most with a focus on the quant section. I tried to just catch hold of as many previous papers as I could, and then practice tests, mock tests, whichever I could practice with, and I just tried to solve one paper daily with a focus on the quant section before any other. For a long time I just did practice the quant questions, and then towards the end near the exam I solved the entire question paper.
I have a work experience of 4 years in the manufacturing sector. While working, I used to coordinate the work with my colleagues so that I could take out time for my studies. It involved a lot of negotiation and effort on my part to apportion the responsibilities among other people. Since there was very little room for any deviation owing to my busy schedule, I had to prioritize my studies for every week with proper planning. This prioritization and religious adherence to my schedule was the key to my success in MBA entrance exam.
Before the exams, I started writing more mock tests, and whenever I identified a weakness, I would work towards improving it.
I had the habit of reading newspapers from childhood, so in the run-up to the exams, I made sure that I switched to a business newspaper in order to keep me updated with all business news as well. And I made it a point to read through the newspaper thoroughly as far as I could, and I was regular with the newspaper reading. I felt that this was adequate preparation for the GK section. For the essay writing, the only thing I kept in mind was the structure of a well-written essay, and I made sure that there was clarity of thought while attempting to write the essay.
I started preparing for essay writing a month before the exam. I picked up topics from previous year's question papers and practiced on them. I also wrote essays on abstract topics and got it evaluated by coaching institute experts. Developing a habit of reading would help you not only in giving your essays but also in the verbal ability section on the go. For GK, I used to read newspapers regularly, both business and daily sections.
Yes, I joined full-time coaching classes to prepare for these exams. Joining coaching classes brought a sense of discipline in me, and it made sure that I worked regularly and focused on all the sections equally instead of focusing only on the sections that I preferred working on. Also, coaching helped me keep myself in the loop of things, because instructors at these centers are usually aware of the developments and changes that take place in the testing patterns. Since ZAT is a little different from the other exams in terms of its testing patterns, I practiced the previous year's question papers in order to get an idea about what sort of questions come. Also, ZAT has a section on decision making, so this section tests your ability in a more holistic way than the other exams which have basic data solving problems, and these can only be cracked with a good amount of practice. Also, an important lesson to take with you while going for ZAT is remember to have the knowledge of what not to attempt. Remember, ZAT is not a 100% scoring paper. The knowledge of leaving questions is another way in which they test your decision-making skills.
I started my preparation for the GDPIs in January. It gave me about 1.5 months to prepare for my GDPIs. My main concern was revising my undergraduation concepts. Then I focused on being more precise in my answers. I gave a lot of mock interviews, and my prime focus for the mock interviews was to rationalize and refine my answers to questions like why MBA and what are my goals in life. I also believe that a candidate should research thoroughly about the institute and be prepared to answer questions like why he will be a valuable addition to the institute.
I started the preparation in January, right after my XAT exam. The coaching classes helped me understand what to expect from a GDPI. I started preparing answers to commonly asked questions and made sure that I was well versed with all the latest happenings.
The key to this particular problem is to believe in oneself and quickly jump to the easier questions which are present in any entrance examination. Once one gets to solve the easier questions, she regains the lost confidence, and then the aspirant is able to pace up as per the time constraint. In a paper exam format like XAT, where the aspirant can attempt any section in any order, she can also be advised to jump to another section and then go for the easier questions in it. He can revisit this incomplete section after he regains the lost confidence after adopting this strategy.
This is the ultimate test in the paper. There are two possibilities. The first section is your area of strength. In such a case, be rest assured the other candidates are finding the section as difficult as you are. If it is not your best of section of the three, I suggest you move on to your area of strength and attempt as many questions as possible. Then you can always come back to this section and attempt 5 to 6 questions to clear the cutoffs. Remember, when it comes to competitive examinations, time is of essence.
About the time that I spent on each section, I roughly spent an equal time on each section, which was about 45 minutes each. I started with the verbal ability section because it was my strength and it gave me the confidence to attempt the rest of the paper well. And then I followed it up with the quantitative section so that I had a good amount of time to think about the questions and answer it without any stress. Finally, I ended with the TM section, which was also something that took about 30 to 40 minutes for me.
During mock tests, I tried to cover maximum number of questions in a particular section within the stipulated time. As far as that was concerned, I just revised the previous year question papers. I also believe that XAT and CAT are starkly different because the time management skills and the level of preparation required is very different.
The decision-making section was based on various characteristics like logic, ethics, a person's line of thinking, etc. It had nothing to do with WorkX. It tests your ability to think and react in problematic situations, which may not be good even after years of WorkX.